Cool. So, yeah, normal opening, nothing special to mention. Kick is possible, this descent is not. So whenever you have this kind of kick shape, meaning these two white stones and these two black stones, this can be considered as one shape. And in this shape, white is weaker than black. Namely, the weaknesses are this attachment and jumping in to the shape point where white would make a target amount. These are the points white is scared of, and these are the points black is aiming to use. The attachment is usually the more important one, and that is why basically always white plays here to prevent it. Otherwise black is going to get a comfortable position on the outside. Right? So,
Okay.
yeah, just try to remember that you can kick, but the move on this side has to be the follow-up move. Either high or low, it doesn't matter too much which one. Also, when you play this way, you have to remember that black can still invade the 3-3 point and leave. So you are not making points here. Usually I recommend just backing off. It's easier to understand what is going on. Okay. Behind here, black plays here. You cannot submit like this. You have to honey. Right? You cannot allow black to push you down like that to a small ball. No, that is not acceptable. So yeah, just honey. Is there something you're afraid of in this position? Did you consider this during the game?
No, not really.
Okay. This kind of honey should be the first move you consider when the opponent attaches your stone. Right? One of the honeys, this one or this one. This one is risky and doesn't actually work in this position. But this one doesn't really have anything dangerous. Black has two options, black can extend or black can honey. Even if this happens, like at worst case you can just connect and black connects, right? Nothing to be afraid of, so just do that. This kind of honey is possible, it's kind of small, but you should basically never consider this kind of first sign move. There's a couple reasons why. First of all, it means that if black later so wants to, this descent is center. You have to respond, right? Can you see why?
Because he can put me in attack.
Yeah, exactly. So and another reason is that when you play this way, you are not giving more liberties to your C16 stones. Right? So you are missing out on benefit you could get. So
Okay.
basically always the move you should consider is just connecting. Now black doesn't get anything for free and you don't have any issues left. That is important.
Okay.
Good. Now for black, this move is very risky. We have severe cuts. So we have cut at A and we have a cut at B. Both of these are real issues. And we are not fixing either of them. Right? At least not directly. Like, yes, this move does work. Oops, that is not what I meant to do. That move does not even do what I thought it does. Never mind. Yeah, it does not cleanly capture this stone even. White can get out, cause havoc. So yeah, you still have two severe cuts. You should aim to fix at least one of these. So I think black should just do either this one, fix the cut at A, or this one, fix the cut at B. Right? Fix one of the cuts. When you don't fix either of the cuts, your position will be much weaker and less useful than you might think. Okay. This move is okay. Maybe a bit small if your intention is not to attack black. Right?
Okay.
If you aim to attack black, this is very good. If that is not your intention, then I would prefer playing on the right side. The right side is clearly larger than the left side, right?
Right.
This is possible. I think black should prefer to connect this way, just so we don't leave more cuts. And this way, if white turns here, it's not a problem. We can just honey. And we can even double honey. Right? I should mute notifications in Discord. There we go. Okay. So yeah, that solid connections are very powerful. I think white should be happy enough to just turn here immediately. Other option, since you played in this direction, is to cut here now. This is kind of a small move, like we are prioritizing the sides before weaknesses and before corners, both of which are kind of wrong. So your idea should be to do something about black's weaknesses or to do something about this corner. Right?
Okay.
That's kind of the normal flow of the game. Deal with the corners first, then the sides. And in any case, the right side, if you're going to play on the side, then play something like here. Right side is bigger than the bottom side. Simply more space. It's not a big mistake, but a good idea to get the hang of. And if you just imagine the position looks like this, it kind of looks like black is building more than white. So that is why, like, you kind of want to go to the biggest area, even if you can't make points there, just because the opponent can make a lot of points there. And preventing that makes the game so much simpler. And yeah, this is again wrong direction for black, because again, the right side is more interesting. If you want to play in the corner, then I would expect the corner move to be something more like A, B, C, or D, one of these. Just aiming the right side. Cool. Okay. Cut. Good. That is a strange move. We are kind of pushing white to our weaknesses, while we would prefer to push white out of them, or we would prefer to just cut white. This should be the first move you consider. Just cut. Everything else is kind of a special case. White didn't do it, but white should. Just extend. And now black shape is terrible. Right?
Okay.
Black cannot cut anymore because you can just capture. And if black fixes this problem somehow, well, you can connect and now black is split to two groups. And very easily. So yeah, black should take this opportunity to just cut and worry about the rest later. If you don't cut, you will get to even more trouble. But even when this happens, now we have one more cut than we had before. Right? So when we look at this position, we have two cuts. White cuts here. One cut has been used, one cut is left. And now at this position, black has three cuts. So that is just making it so much more likely that something will go wrong. And then white doesn't cut. If you push, you cut. Right? So just cut now. Worry about the rest later.
Okay.
If you are not intending to cut, then don't play those moves in the first place. And you should cut. Like, it's really difficult to really figure out what black is going to do. Also, this move is very strange shape. What's the idea with this one?
I don't know. I was trying to extend toward the center.
Why? What's the idea?
And in the meantime, I thought my low left group was growing.
Okay. That may be true. But also if we imagine a move like this, how much is it really growing? Right? And also, when you play a 3-space jump, black always has a shape point here. They can just come in here and this stone will live. And it's annoying. If you are going to play here, then it has to be the 2-space jump, at most.
Okay.
If
Right.
you expect to keep anything. Okay? But the bottom left corner is not the largest area of the board. Right? Even if you play here and black plays here, who is building more?
Black.
Yeah, exactly. So you should be again worrying about the right side. Or now the top side too. They are both becoming larger. And due to that again the cut helps a lot with the top side. Like if we imagine something like this happens and we just get a nice group here that makes sure the top side doesn't grow out of proportion. Right?
Okay.
This move is a bit strange, like if you're going to play on top side, you can ask for a lot more. Like you can play on the 4th line, just try to build more. Building between 3rd line stones is not very fun because white can just show rate the stone and you are not going to get a lot of points here. So going for the 4th line is better here. Get some balance for your stones. Have some 3rd line stones and some 4th line stones. That will make the game a lot easier. Playing something like this is also very nice because it does actually help a lot with the cut. Because the cut is no longer interesting for white. Like we get something like this, we are building a top side. Black is not in danger anywhere. So now white doesn't really get the reduction, white gets a weak group. And that is not fun. So yeah. Just try to remember that to get some kind of balance for the stones. Don't play only on the 3rd line. What's the idea here? White is small.
I was trying to steal some points. I know it's just it's ridiculous, but
How many points?
One.
Well, okay, let's imagine a position where black has played here. So now we can say that black has maybe these 6 points here, let's say.
Okay.
Right? Then let's imagine another position where white has played this one, and let's give white another move. White has played there, right? And
Okay.
black follows up here. We removed 6 points with 2 moves. So
Yes.
each of those moves was worth 3 points. You cannot play 3-point moves at this point of the game. It is not possible. So I believe the proper response for black here would be to maybe fix the cut and say that the white's move is dumb. Right? Now there is nothing black can do, or nothing white can do against the black group. There are no weaknesses. Right? So what is F18 actually doing? It's just removing a couple points. And at this point of the game, you cannot worry about a couple points. So, what should white do instead?
I don't know. Maybe trying to invade the left side.
Left side. Give me a
The
move.
right side.
Okay, give me a move.
I don't know. Inserting somewhere like that.
If you're putting something on the board, I cannot see it. Only I have a control.
Okay. I don't know, from my central stone from K7, trying to move to the right.
Oh, so you're thinking of some kind of jumping move here?
Yes, something like that.
When all of your groups are strong, you should not play near them. Instead, when you are strong, create a new group. So the natural move would be something like here, right? Playing along the sides. You should only continue from your own stones if they need strength. Usually. Right? So if you think you are strong in the bottom left corner, don't continue from playing there. Create a new group.
Okay.
That is much more efficient. But yeah, this just is too small, and also black should not respond to this. And black should especially not respond this way. Because now we created another cut. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. If 3 was already bad, 4 is even worse. Right? So something is going to die. Probably. Why this one?
What?
Why this one? Why this move?
The same idea that was behind my previous move.
So this move is just points, right? It doesn't threaten black. It's not creating any problems for black. So it's just points. So how many points is it?
Well, I was trying to close this corner, and closing this way is better than G19.
What black move were you afraid of?
Yeah, you're right. There's nothing he can do.
Yeah, even if they play F19, you just block, right? Or you tenuki, they push again, you block. There is nothing there. What this move does is it completely fixes the G17 cut for black. So this move only helps black. Right?
Yes.
Do not play first line moves unless you have to. Otherwise, you are risking that you just pass.
Okay, I
right
get
now,
it.
Black has so many cuts that you should cut and worry about the rest later. After that exchange, this cut is much less powerful than it was just a moment before. Does that make sense?
Why? Because I can cut in.
It's just because if we don't make those exchanges, and we cut here and back defense and we extend here, now black has a problem they have to worry about, right? Black still has a cut.
Yes,
right?
Okay, yes.
When we play this way, and black extends, we extend. Does black have to worry about G17?
G17.
Is G17 a threat?
I think no. I think he can defend.
Yeah, just a theory. Right? So black doesn't need to defend this. It's already defended.
Yes.
Right? So that is why G19 is so bad, because it fixes this problem for black. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good. So black takes this exchange. I don't think it's a very good exchange. It's actually kind of bad. Yeah, don't. That is no shame. And do not make this exchange. Here's why. If we play something else, and then white cuts here, well, let's do it this way. So white cuts here, and we extend here. The stones on the side now have three liberties, right? While if I am having a lot of difficulty doing this. If we do it this way, and now respond here, then now that the white cut, our stones on the side only have two liberties, and they die. So this exchange actually only damages black. So black should not drop to the first line. Again, first line moves are terrible. Don't play them unless you absolutely have to. Okay. By the way, Jelly, if you have questions or comments, just put it in the game chat. That's okay. Yeah, I heard an undo request here. Which player did send it, or was that an OGS bug?
What?
Like, I heard an undo request at this point in the game. And
I think it was it was him, and I didn't see.
Right. So did you actually intend to extend here? I'll put my phone on silent. Jelly, did you intend to extend her? Or what was the move you wanted to play? Okay, yeah, extend. Extending is a reasonable natural move. But actually, even this one probably isn't as big of a mistake as you think. So if you're worried that white plays here, and you take and white captures, this is actually not terrible for black. Just because that pawn gives a lot of strength. Black only lost a couple stones. It's not that big of a deal. So now when black continues somewhere here, the game still looks kind of comfortable for black.
Mm.
So I think even though you made a mistake, it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, this is. So now you really should just fix her. There's nothing you should really be scared of on the top side. Just because the G18 cut has been fixed, not G17 cut, has been fixed. So just fix your last problem and game continues. Don't leave the position undefended. Here I'm not entirely sure why white didn't just cut. This destroys black. But if black tries to save the stones, Atari, wait, they're dead.
I didn't see it.
Well, you say you didn't see it. Did you read at this point? Right? The first thing you should always do is count liberties of all nearby groups. If you count the liberties, you can find that both A and B are Ataris. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And B is a really interesting Atari, just because it has a very high potential of helping your F14 stones. So this should be the first move you read. Right? And then you can read that, well, if black saves the stone, then I can Atari again. And you can just count the liberties after each move. This is a one-way street. I am confident that you can read this far and see that black is dead. Right? You can absolutely do this. If you cannot read that far, then I'm sure that you can read that there's a ladder here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Does this ladder work for white?
I think I saw this in the game, and I calculated that he could have touched one of his stones and save himself.
Yeah, this ladder does not work for white.
Yeah.
Right? But it's good that you did read this. So are you saying that you read this variation?
Yes.
Okay. And so you didn't read this one?
No, this I didn't see it. I didn't read it.
Okay. After each move in the game, and also after each move in your reading, you should count the liberties. So you can see where you can do something. If you do that, I'm confident you can find the right idea here. Now, if you don't see any of that, then there is only one shape point left. which is the turn here. Right? This is putting much more pressure on black than the diagonal. So this makes a lot more sense. If black extends, we can push again. It's again putting a lot of pressure on black. Black cannot ignore this move. So, yeah. This kind of turn is often very powerful. This kind of diagonal is a very special case move and very rarely the right move. I see. So then we just get to connect. Yeah, black really again should just connect. Fix the problem. Admit you have a problem and fix it. You had so many moves where you could have done this, but you didn't. So that made the game difficult for a while. Bit of a strange move. Giving white a lot of options here. This is probably the worst option. So white should fight this. Maybe not that way, but fighting it this way is a very interesting option. We don't care if black tries to cut us off if we are just alive in the center. Right? And that's also a very expensive go anyway. So, yeah. This is a bit lame, but we still get a great position anyway. So can't complain too much. Yeah, this move cannot be too bad. I would prefer to aim to build from the top right corner, but it doesn't matter too much. Slow, slow, slow. You do not need to help your top left corner. Right? That group could not be more alive. It has at least 5 eyes. Okay? You don't need to help it. So you should not play near it. Have you heard of the idea that you should not play near strength?
Yeah, it makes sense. I didn't thought that way in any game.
Yeah, so well, that applies to both players. So white doesn't want to play here, like playing near black strong groups, right? That's very uncomfortable. But also white doesn't want to play near their own strong groups. A move near a strong group is only worth points. You don't want to play a move that is only worth points. You want to help your groups. And if there is no group to be helped, then you figure out what is the biggest area of the board and create a new group there. That is a very simple way to play Go and very effective. So then just plop a stone there. That's a big area. Right? Yeah, this kind of pushing is really bad. Like when black gets these 3 stones, that top side is actually threatening to become territory, which it shouldn't. White is so strong here. I thought that top side doesn't deserve to become territory. So these moves only help black. The stones white got on the center are not very interesting. Just because it's very hard to make points with center stones. And they are not helping our groups. Okay. What's the idea with this move?
I don't even remember. Let me think. No, I don't remember. It doesn't make sense now that I look at it.
It really doesn't. Can you come up with a more interesting move?
Maybe some, I don't know, some stone near G or H8.
G or H8? So you're thinking of a move like... Yeah, move like this?
But again, it's as you say that this is a stone near a strong group. So
Yep. But this is decidedly a better move than what you played.
yes.
So this move actually, it's also now threatening to start turning this into points.
Mm-hmm.
So it is actually doing much more than E7. But yeah, I still recommend you play on the right side. And you can
Yes.
clearly see that right side is wider than where you played.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how you should probably think about it. And yeah, black comes to show this very annoying shape point. You attach on the outside, which is a good idea. This is very strange. I would totally expect black to just hane. And I'm very curious why they didn't. So what you usually expect to see here is something like this. Black gets a Ponnuki. White kind of gets to keep what they have. And this would be a good result for black. Fighting here also means white can fight harder. But this is not the way. When you defend this way, you leave yourself with 2 cutting points. Here and here, right? Correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So now, question. Which stone is weaker? A or B?
I would say that B is more isolate, but A is it's near a lot of his stones and can it's
So you think A is weaker?
no, I'd say B because it's more alone.
Okay. If you think that way, then you should defend this way. Kind of pushing black down. While leaving only 1 cutting point. But I actually think that the other stone is weaker, so I would play this way.
Okay.
Force black to run out. It's quite natural. And I think there's a very high chance black actually dies. Yeah.
Okay.
But just try to remember that you want to minimize cutting points. When you play it this way, there's 2.
Okay.
Giving black more chances to survive. So black just gets out this way, kind of sad. Bit too afraid here, you could just drop down. This cut is nothing, right?
Yes. Right.
Just a ladder. So good block. This move also is very afraid. How does black escape?
From which move? From my
Right now,
previous
how
move?
does black run out of there?
Ah. He cannot.
Okay. Before you defend, you must have a clear idea what it is that you're defending against.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you are risking of just passing.
Mm.
Another note. You could defend on a much larger scale. So you could consider a move like this,
Mhm.
right? If you think there's something, play this way. But it's very unclear how black would actually survive. So we could tenuke. Okay. This move is very small. Wouldn't recommend. Like yes, we are threatening to do something like this.
Mhm.
But that's just points. We don't care about just points. So if this happens, so you have to remember white got the move, so white best there destroys half of the board, right?
Mm.
If we can destroy half of the board, we don't really care if the opponent steals like 6 points from us.
Okay.
If you're going to defend, maybe this way, remove all RG from the corner. What function does the M4 stone have?
Uh, are you asking me or
Both of you, actually. What function does the white M4 stone have?
nothing but to just to save the stone on M4?
The function of M4 cannot be to save M4.
No, I thought the next move.
No, this move. No, I mean this specific stone. What function does this stone have? Yeah,
Mm,
it has no function. So white should not save it, but also black
mhm.
should not threaten to capture it. Because white shouldn't care. Right? So this is the time where black should just go and do something big here. And when black plays here, white should go and do something big here. Right?
Okay.
No one cares about that one stone. It doesn't help black to capture it. It doesn't help white to save it. Right? Before you save a stone, try to think what that stone is actually doing. And if it's nothing, then let it go. Okay, I do not understand this one. What is N5 doing? What's the function of N5? I don't understand. How much territory did this move make? Compared to this position? Well, I think it's very fair to say that it made like maybe these 3 points.
Mhm.
That seems fair. 2 or 3. How much territory would a move like this make? Or a move like this? We can be quite certain that the number is bigger than 3. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm just try to avoid pushing like this. But same thing for white. What is this stone doing?
Mm, mm, just trying to approach
Yeah.
that territory.
Can you guess what I'm about to say about this move? Same idea.
That.
Don't play near strength.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to make points in the center, you should try to do it with more interesting moves that also reduce black, like severely. Or do it with moves that actually clearly make points right away. But the right side is still the biggest. Okay, at least area is correct, even if this move is very conservative. This move is fundamentally bad shape. Can you tell me why?
Because he can easily cut me.
Are you familiar with this shape? These three stones?
These 3 stones.
Yeah, this is a very common shape. You often see it on the side of the board, looking something like this.
Hmm.
Have you seen this before?
Yeah, I think I've seen. I don't know if it has a name.
I mean, this is often called the peep, right?
Oh. Uh-huh. Yes.
So black has a one space jump and you peep. Why do you peep?
Because I want to threaten a cut.
Okay, so that means black doesn't want to get cut, so black responds, right? What does white do if black doesn't respond?
If black doesn't respond, white enters.
Yeah, and block and cut, right? So that means this shape would basically never happen in this order, right?
Okay.
Because then, well, white just cuts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do not play a one space jump that has already been peeped at. That is like very natural to think about. But that is what you did here.
Right.
So usually you want to play the Kema instead. But then, yeah, black pushes, which is correct. But if you push, then you also cut. Then there's no reason not to cut here. It's so big. The best white can really do here is something like this. That's a massive corner.
Mm-hmm.
But when we play this way, well, white kind of gets away with it. Which is not good. You did leave strange shape here, which could become a problem later. So you have to realize that. Also, this move is very strange. What's the idea?
The idea was to accomplish 2 things. One was to try to kind of close my central group and to enter to the right. Which the right.
Never play moves that try to do two things.
Mm.
Play a move that does one thing. If it does one thing properly and also does something else as a bonus, that's okay. But this move does not do any one thing clearly. It does two things badly. Right?
Okay.
So you are not reducing the right side properly because black can play here. And you are not securing the center because black can play here. Right? You are not doing either of the things you aim to do. So instead, I think what white should do is either reduce or fix the problem. Just do one thing and do it well. Before that problem has been fixed, you cannot make points in the center. Okay. And yeah, then black comes in. Very nice. And black gets out. Suspicious. There's actually a really nice shape move that you want to know, which is that if you play here, you fix both cuts. Well, actually you don't in this one. Never mind. Forget about this. Yeah, there's really no good way. So when we play this way, we kind of betray our stones, and hey, now we played this beep shape twice. Something is going to go badly. So black should choose what they want here. Black cannot get both. So if black plays here, then black has to play here. No option. Or black can play here and let white play here. I think this is the best option. Maybe I'm not sure. But you cannot do this. This shape is terrible. And then white pushes through here. Don't do this. Why do you do this? Why do you play the empty triangle? You know this move is wrong. Why do you play it? If you are going to defend those stones, then something like this. Don't play the empty triangle. Terrible. Okay. But also, you should fix one of these cuts. Right now, white can kill something. Can you find how?
I don't know. I would say the cutting through R5, but I don't think I can survive.
So, black has two cuts. Take them. And what does black do?
Black plays S5.
Okay. Then you take the other cut. What does black do?
Okay, black connects Q4.
Okay. Then you connect. Dead.
Okay.
So, mind your cutting points. And you should also mind the opponent's cutting points. They are important. If the opponent has two cutting points right next to each other, almost always something is going wrong. Yeah. And even now, like, taking the cut is brutal. This move is kind of pessimistic. White could play like here, and it should work. There's nothing you really need to be afraid of. Yeah.
Okay.
I believe that was the last important thing about this game, so I'll just quickly check if there's more.
Okay.
Yeah, this endgame doesn't matter too much. This attachment is very strange. When you attach like this, you can really expect to get much. You had a chance here though. What if you play here? What does black do?
I think I don't know. Maybe he took the stone, my stone.
Oh yeah. Then you can either connect or play here. How is black going to get 2 eyes?
Right.
They aren't, right? That's not going to happen. So this was still a chance for white. So the most black actually could get here is this. So scammed slightly. What's the idea with this connection?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Maybe I thought he could isolate me this way, but my group is alive, so.
Yeah, and also the cut doesn't work. Right? Yep. You could just play here. Right. Anything else? Ooh. Okay. It's much better to just let that one stone go than allow black into Rara. Remember, if black kills that stone, it's only worth 2 points. While if black gets, you just push into this area, which is way more than 2 points.
Yeah, he reduced me a lot.
Yeah, really painful. Okay, that's the game. Do you have any questions? Either of you?
No, not really, but
Awesome.
I get it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.